Hi everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at a game called, a free-to-play game called Project Xandata. This is a first-person shooter, hero shooter by IDC Games. It's a company that develops many free-to-play games, online free-to-play games, and this is one of their latest games. Now everything that you see here, the footage is from the open beta. This means that you can also get a game right now. I actually came across this one when I was watching Shroud's video, and this came as an advertisement. I actually click it, and then I came across this video. Without this, probably wouldn't know that this game is out. So because it's beta, of course, things are subject to change, so take this into consideration. Nonetheless, I'm going to share with you my first impression of this open beta and tell you what I like and what I didn't like. First of all, in terms of overall impressions, this kind of remind me of both Overwatch, in some ways of also Destiny multiplayer. And I really like Destiny multiplayer, by the way, in terms of the different abilities that the characters have, because it's a sci-fi MMO and a first-person shooter game. So you have different abilities, cool Tron-like futuristic look, lots of visual effects, and unique and interesting maps. Now, in general, I have the option to choose between 3 different classes. Each one has its own unique abilities which you can use. You can have kind of a slot for primary weapon, secondary weapon, and heavy weapon. This probably reminds you of Destiny as well. And also abilities which you can use, and also ultimate ability, same as Overwatch and Valorant, where it charges over time, and then you can use it, and it's a very powerful ability which can deal devastating damage to the enemy. Now I'm going to read for you from the description of the official website at idcgames.com. They say Project Xandata is an online competitive first-person shooter where you play to win, customize your Xandata based on your playstyle as you fight each other in teams of 3 in this free-to-play arena shooter. Now if you look at the screen here, you have the option to choose between the primary, secondary, and heavy weapon. And the thing is that when I played the burst shooting and the sniper, I felt that it's quite unbalanced because I didn't deal enough damage. Whether the auto rifle and the submachine guns deal much more damage over a very short period of time. And I was actually expecting, when I have the sniper rifle, to eliminate the enemy with T-shots, but no. So this is something that I feel that needs to be balanced. So eventually, I've decided just to switch weapon and go with the fast firing weapon, the automatic weapons. So you can see the ultimate skill, and now you can customize your abilities to your playstyle, which I really like, because I like having my own character customized, so it really fits the way that I enjoy playing the game. So this one, you have the options here to do this as well. So in this aspect, I really like it compared to Overwatch. I think Overwatch 2 is going to be different. You have more customization for your options. That I think Blizzard announced this. So in Overwatch 2 is going to be different. But in Overwatch, the first Overwatch, the original one, you have your abilities and you can change them. So each character has its own ability. So here actually is something that's going to be familiar to Overwatch 2, where you can actually customize your own abilities. And there's also some visual aspects. You can customize your character look and the banner, as you can see here, which is pretty nice, of course. And there's also option to choose the gender, by the way. If you look at the top, you can choose a male or female, which is nice. Here you can see me playing with other people, random people in the quick play. By the way, when I tried quick play at first, I wasn't able to quickly find matches. So if you play it, just give it a few minutes, you'll be able to do so. And there are also custom lobbies which you can use, and there are some people, I think they are the devs, who are actually waiting for other players to join so they can play with them. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like this because of their name. I think it was kind of a dev or something name, or Pro 1, so it looks like a dev name created there. So overall, in terms of visuals, I wasn't too impressed, but it wasn't bad either, so I actually enjoyed it. You can see the info on the screen, you can see the your team. There are different, by the way, game modes. There's one that it's actually similar to Valorant or CSGO, where if you die, for example, the enemy can revive you, but you're actually out of the game in that point. In Valorant you also have the healer who can revive, but in this game every character can revive the fallen one. But of course, when you do this, you are vulnerable because you need to press the R key, to revive, and it takes quite some time, quite a few seconds. So at this point, you are vulnerable. Same thing like in Valorant, when you need to plant a bomb. It takes some time, and at this point, when you do this, you can actually shoot and plant the bomb, or in this case, revive and shoot. So you need to do kind of a create a strategic gameplay, so you actually not in a vulnerable position, and you can still revive your teammates. Then in terms of music, I don't know, it felt a bit dark to me, too dark, and I actually wanted something that feels more fluent, and it just felt like, I don't know, dark, and a bit kind of depressing to me. And sometimes a bit too strong, instead of blending well with the actual feeling of the combat. It felt more like a horror scene in a movie. I don't know, I didn't like it that much in terms of music. Same goes to the sound effects, the guns. You feel a bit lacking, but again, the thing is that it wasn't bad, but wasn't that great either. But as I mentioned, this is a beta, so everything is subject to change, and of course the developers are keeping an eye on the community's feedback, and by the time the game is released, some of the things are going to change. For example, this screen, victory screen, in my opinion, very underwhelming. Same goes to the UI, I don't know, doesn't look that exciting to me. But again, this is a beta, and it can change later on. You can see me taking the armor. You press an R and you get an armor. So it actually fills up your armor. And I thought if I take more, I'm going to get extra armor, but I think not. It just fills up the armor. The line, the blue line, light blue line that you see there is the armor, and the white one is actually the health bar. At the left side, you can see the far left, you can see 20%, 21. This is actually your ultimate, and you press Q in order to activate it. By the way, the ultimate is super powerful. You can eliminate enemies very, very quickly with this. It's kind of this knife when you're using Valorant. It's just one shot. I think one shot, two shots. I think one shot. Anyway, this is a lot of damage, and any enemy that I came across weren't able to dodge this. And there are different kind of ultimates, but all of them, they're powerful, because for all of them, I actually died very, very quickly, and I wasn't able to react. Now, why I wasn't able to react? Because it takes some time to eliminate enemies. This is different from Valorant or the squishy characters in Overwatch. Here it actually takes quite some time to eliminate the enemies with the weapons. So it won't take you like a second to eliminate the enemy, and this allows the enemies to get far away from you and actually regenerate health. So it's kind of different, create a different strategic situation where if you just fight against somebody from far away, of course it won't be a good idea. You need to kind of surprise them and get into very close quarters combat in order to take them down. So in this case, ultimates are even more powerful because it takes a lot of time to take down enemies. Also, in many of the game modes, I felt that it's very important because it takes time to eliminate enemies, to be with other people in a group in order to focus fire and take down enemies faster, rather than trying to go alone. But you have your different abilities that allows you to deal more damage, like the grenades and the sub-abilities. Some of the other abilities are, for example, dodging enemies. You can still deal damage, but still dodging enemies, which is pretty cool. In case you you are facing two enemies and need to quickly get out. You can also run in this game, and you use control in order to not make sound when you actually move. And talking about footsteps, this game is very similar to CSGO and Valorant in the way that you can hear the footsteps very, very clearly. But in Valorant, you don't run. You actually, when you press the shift, you actually slow yourself down in order to prevent yourself from other eerie footsteps. But in all of those games, the footsteps are quite crucial. But here, the thing is that you can double jump. You can actually press the spacebar and spacebar again to double jump, and it's very dense area. You can really easily hide behind different objects. So even if you are detected, it's not a big deal compared to games like Valorant, where it can be like you can one-shot kill you immediately with 2 shots and you are down. Whether all this is actually balanced well, it didn't feel so, but in my opinion, you need the option to eliminate enemies faster, because they felt like kind of a bullet sponge in a way. especially when I used the sniper rifle. I expected one shot or two shot, but it wasn't like that. You can see the different classes: the marksman, the agent, and the juggernaut, uh, which each one is offer a unique type of gameplay. Uh, One is, for example, like assassin is more elusive and create replicas of himself, illusions. Other ones is the marksman has a better advantage from a distance, from long and mid range. Juggernaut is more about explosive and dealing kind of massive damage with bombs and explosive, which is pretty cool. Each one has its own unique characteristics and abilities. I also think the Juggernaut has a bigger armor. Not sure, by the way, because I don't see numbers there, but I think so. Because say toughness, so in terms of toughness, I think it has a higher armor or higher health bar, but I didn't test this just yet. Here you can actually see the ultimate skill. Again, you can customize it, choose the one that you like best. Combination of primary weapon, secondary weapon, heavy. By the way, regarding heavy, like in Destiny, you start with heavy empty, and at some point during the match, heavy ammo will actually spawn at certain points of the map, and you can clearly see it on the map with an icon, and you need to go and actually grab it in order to shoot it. The thing is that I tried to use several times. For some reason this doesn't deal that amount of damage. In Destiny, if I had like a heavy weapon, this could be a large damage, big radius, and actually it could easily take down enemies. In this case it felt, I don't know, kind of less powerful compared to what I'm used to when talking about heavy weapons. So let's take a look at some gameplay. This is a match with a few other players that I play with today. Let's take a look. Here you can see this is the armor. You press R, long R, in order to obtain it. It takes like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and you get it. And you refill your armor. You see, my armor rise is not full. You can see at the bottom, the light blue line is not full. Now I'm gonna take the armor, and you can see it's full. As you can see, the weapon design looks quite similar to those from Destiny, sci-fi, futuristic, and it's nice to see this for a change. I like actually the design. Now also pay attention that the maps are relatively large. It's a very large map, and for a 3 versus 3, it seems like a bit too large in my opinion. You can see that I have the option to revive here, but I'm under attack. But the good thing is there are plenty places to hide, which is great. As you can see, my heavy is empty because I didn't recharge it. You're actually trying to revive the invaders, but already shoot me. And there were 2, so they eliminated me very, very quickly.
Don't let this happen again. We're out of time. Change your plans. Capture the Destiny.
Now in this match I was actually 1 versus 1. But you can clearly see that the game, the size of the map actually doesn't fit this 1 versus 1. And it felt like really kind of tedious. So even for 3 versus 3 it feels kind of a large map, and I think that 5 versus 5 will be optimal for this map size. You can see I'm spotting, you can see that I'm dealing headshots there, and look at the damage, right? Very low damage. Now I don't know if it's in terms of pieces, because even when I shot the enemy up close it still didn't deal a lot of damage. So I didn't check whether, you know, in terms of distance, whether you deal more if you're in close range, but from what I can recall, it's not, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I think is that the developer should ramp up and add more players, so make it 5 versus 5. I think even 6 versus 6 will be fine, considering the size of the map, the fact that this map, look, is not just one floor. You have a second floor as well. So and of many places to hide. So I think 5 vs 5 will be ideal here. Let's take a look at some gameplay and pay attention to the damage that I deal and my ultimate and how quickly I was able to take down the enemy once the ultimate was ready. Now the enemy is actually using a sniper rifle, and I'm trying to shoot it with an auto rifle. So as you can see, I'm putting lots of bullets there, and you can see that the enemy is still alive, and the other person is shooting me with a sniper rifle. But just look how many bullets I need to put in order to take the enemy down. A lot. Here I'm actually charging my armor. And getting some of the bullets that the enemy dropped. And now the ultimate ability is ready. As you can see on the left side, it's glowing. It's kind of purple with animation. And look how fast I was able to take the enemy. So basically you have no chance getting out of this one. No chance. And just remember, this is a 3 vs 3, so definitely this needs to be balanced in a way, at least giving the enemy an option to evade it, or maybe, I don't know, something to balance this one, because it's way too OP. Now you can see me with already charged rocket launcher. I'm dealing damage. It deals damage, but look at this. I got a hit, right? And there's still the enemy has lots of health left, and he's using his ultimate and can eliminate me in a second. So nothing I could do at this point. Now with 1 vs 1, even with 3 vs 3, I already said that the enemy the enemy eliminates me, it's going to be tie. So what I need to do is just hide. And of course it will take a lot of time for the enemy to find me, and if I can hear footsteps I can go to the other side, and if you just circle around and the enemy won't be able even to find me and get me. So in that point 1 vs 1 is really kind of a bad idea, but I'm able to play this one, and I'm not sure they're going to have something like 1 vs 1. I think it's only going to be matchmaking for 3 vs 3, but I'm not again 100% sure. But on the website it said 3 vs 3, so eventually I won, but just passing time. That's it. So you can see another engagement. And of course the ultimate, I have no choice of but just surrendering to this powerful ultimate ability. So these are my overall impressions, first impression of the open beta. Again, everything you see here is from the open beta of the game, and things of course might and will probably change, including balancing the game, maybe the visuals and other aspects of the game. So just keep this in mind. Whether I'm going to come back and play this, yes, the answer is yes. I want to play it because I enjoy this one. So I can't wait to see how this game actually evolves and see how it actually plays when it's finally released. So again, it's free to play, so make sure you check it out on IDC Games and play. If you want to play with me, just let me know. I can do this and play with you as well, if I am available. But in these types of games, I really enjoy playing with friends rather than playing alone with random people. Now 2020, I think, is going to be packed with hero shooters, and this is just yet another one. How it's going to compete with others already on the market, we still need to wait and see because it's still in beta. But overall, I enjoy this one, playing this one. But my main game right now is actually Valorant, but I can play several games. I don't need to just play one, but my main time right now is playing Valorant. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, if you want to play with me, let me know. And let's hope this one will be another great free-to-play first-person shooter which you can play, because I love arena shooters, and this one looks actually quite promising. So don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to press this bell button to get notified when I release new videos. Of course, I'm going to cover many other interesting games that I personally enjoy playing, and I hope you like them as well. And I hope we find time also to play together as well. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye. Cheers.